I don't know, man. I'm really big on kids not having to feel like they have to move from Arkansas in order to be successful in the creative space or in the entertainment space. That's been a thing for a very long time and a thing that we've wrestled with for years. And so whatever I can do while I'm here, um, that's what I'm trying to do. So I just wrapped up this 5-week series that I did with Camp Connect. It is an organization called Hope Connectionz that they did this year for the summer for students in Central Arkansas. Now these are like middle school, high school students. And I thought it was really, really dope. So I decided that I would, kind of recap what it was that we did. Basically, they brought me in to teach the kids music technology. I was a little leery at first because my upbringing in the music was a little different. I didn't really have like a whole lot of teachers. It really leaned heavy on my own personal desires. I put myself in the way. So a lot of my teachers, I just kind of invaded their spaces. They didn't really just come to me and say, hey, look, let me help you. So sometimes I get a little leery about like doing stuff like that. But this particular opportunity was really, really dope. I started to see some things. As you know, I'm an advocate for Arkansas creatives. What I started to think about was how many years actually went by before I was exposed to certain things that would make me better in my craft. I actually didn't for real get the chance to like walk into my first professional studio with the, SSL boards and all of those things till I was in my late 20s. I started to think about that and I was just in a space like, man, without the infrastructure here in Arkansas, if there are students who really want to know about production or about engineering or about even being an artist, where do they get that information? So basically we just walked through the entire scope of the music creation process or song creation process. We discussed song concept. We even discussed the need for being authentic in the creations, right? And so we talked about story first. We opened up kind of getting a vibe with what the students actually really liked. We didn't want to just come in and just say, hey, let's make a song that sounds like this. The kids put me on game even with certain artists that I knew nothing about. And then we hopped into some vibes, man. We hopped into some vibes. So once we knew what their actual song was going to be about, we started to discuss music, the instrumentation of it, what they wanted to hear. I saw you when you was bobbing your head to it. We use websites like Splice, for even those students that didn't know how to play an instrument. And we kind of just explored loops and different things of that sort. We had to add the drums to it and we had to do, basically developing the instrumental concept of the song. And what I started to notice is, although we are in this space where everybody feels like AI is taking over the world, these kids really didn't want to use AI like that. They were really, just authentically creating themselves, what they wanted to hear. Even within the splice loops that we were picking, they were like, oh, well, can we change it up like this? Can we do this? Can we do that? And so I just thought that was really, really cool. And what we ended up with was really amazing. Then we had to jump into the songwriting. And y'all know that was my favorite part. So we started to discuss lyrics. We started to get into the art of storytelling, how everything has a beginning, middle, and an end. It wasn't just about making a song, but I wanted them to actually see, the whole entire process of like the thoughts that we have in song creation, because creating the song is one thing, and there are some artists that's just like, okay, cool, I just want to have a song that's like this. But then there are some artists who actually want to make a career out of it, which means that the product that you serve has to be sellable to a particular audience. And a lot of ways that we do that is through making like catchy hooks. Now, still remaining authentic to what it is that you're trying to say, but being able to say this thing in a different way, you know what I'm saying? Or in a way where it catches.
G-I-G, God is the GOAT. G-I-G, God is the GOAT. G-I-G, God is the GOAT. G-I-G, God is goated.
I feel like we gave the kids something to be proud of, and this is something that they can take. And not all of them will go into music or anything music technology wise, but we were able to see something that did not exist before now exists, which is the really, really dope part about creation. I'm so grateful for Camp Connect, all the people at Hope Connectionz. It was a really, really dope experience, learning the kids and even seeing the taste. That's how that's how you stay young, just constantly growing by learning those that are coming up underneath you. I love to partner with you or your organizations to do this with your students. And if you like that, please comment below, or send us DM, email. I'll put all of that stuff, the information down below where you can contact me at. And yeah, let's expose the kids to something different. I'm all for planting the seeds that need to be planted in order for them to grow to be the greatest version of themselves.